astrophysicist Neil Degrasse. Tyson, hi Neil, how you doing?
Hi. I like that sound, a beat favorite. I like that.
Hey, you know, if you earn it, you get it. So I got more than one thing to get into with you. I wanted to show viewers, of course, you're right here. But we've covered something that I haven't come back to you. Yeah. I haven't come back to you on yet, which is we've got these congressional hearings on UFOs, first in over 50 years. So at a minimum, U.S. government relating to this a little differently, a little more out in the open. The U.S. Navy has declassified this new video that shows this spherical object whizzing by a fighter jacket taken by the pilot. And we can slow it down. Here's what one Pentagon official, here you see some of it, and then here's what an official said.
Is this one of the phenomena that we can't explain?
I do not have an explanation for what this specific object is.
No explanation there. Your reaction writ large.
That's what UFO stands for. Unexplained flying object. So why are we surprised that a video of an unexplained flying object is described as something that they can't explain? I don't have a problem with that. The issue is when you take this leap to go from unexplained to, because I can't explain it, therefore I know what it is. It must be visiting aliens from another galaxy that happens to be particularly intrigued with restricted Navy airspace, okay? That's just, it's something that didn't show up on Google images of satellite images of Earth or in any of the million views that people take outside of airplane windows every day as everyone is equipped with their high-resolution cameras and videos. Just consider that we have crowdsourced any possible alien invasion simply because, last I checked, 6 billion smartphones scatter across Earth's surface. So we got this. If we're visited by aliens, I'm pretty sure you won't need congressional hearings to establish that fact.
Well, so A, I read your skepticism, which is always interesting. B, what about the sort of presentation of science, which is technical, and government panic management, which is a sort of a different enterprise, because I'm sure you've also noticed a shift from the almost hyper secrecy of past decades, worry that people would say anything inexplicable is evidence of, to now they seem to be opening it up a little bit. What do you think about that as an approach?
Yeah, I mean, it was always there. The Project Blue Book goes back decades, for example. And as was noted, it's not the first time there's been hearings on such objects. The military has a huge budget. You know, last I looked, it was $600 or $700 billion. I would hope and expect some of that is going to monitor stuff in the sky that we cannot explain. So the fact that everyone is somehow shocked or surprised that the government has thought about this problem over the decades, I'm surprised that people are surprised. And so where the rubber hits the road. I'm surprised
you're surprised that people are surprised.
That I'm surprised. Where the rubber hits the road is whether it's just at what point are you going to believe that what you can explain are just aliens? That's all I'm saying. I mean, or believe that if I'm putting this out there, that if the government were actually stockpiling aliens, that they would somehow manage to keep that a secret.
Right.
Just think that through. Even the janitor, okay, sneak in a smartphone, get a picture of a gooey alien, and the janitor would lose his job overnight and be the most famous, richest janitor the next day when that video hits social media. And maybe I just have a higher standard of requirement for evidence that we've been visited by aliens. Otherwise, it was fine.
Yeah,
by the way,
your thing.
I was delighted to see Republicans and Democrats together. It was like, oh my gosh, you know, the prospect of aliens brought two halves of Congress together asking similar questions. I was delighted by that.
Yeah, if that's what it takes. And I think I hadn't thought about it that way, but you're right. Some of this stuff getting off Earth and out of the normal conflict allows for a different investigative process at the very least. So that's UFOs. I promised folks, Tyson, on more than one thing. There's the talk of the multiverse. And if folks don't know what that even means, that's okay. That's why we have Neil here conceptually. You may have heard about this in Marvel films like Spider-Man or Doctor Strange. Take a look. Reporting live from Earth 1, best as I know, but I could be wrong. Explain to us, I don't know if you've heard about this, Neil, but sometimes science fiction can be more popular than the original science. Walk us through what this means as a theory. We're hearing more about it. And is there any relevance to this in people's reality?
Well, just to be clear, Doctor Strange appearing in comics long before he got his own feature high-budget film was passing through these portals, from early on. So that's not a new addition to his powers. He's had that for a while. If I were to just toss, as much as I love Superman and Wonder Woman, if I were to tip my hat, it would be to the Marvel community of superheroes, except for Thor in this particular example, because nearly all of them either obtained their powers or explored and developed their powers through science. Just think them through, every single one of them, from the Hulk to, of course, Iron Man, to you just look through, and they're invoking some edge of our understanding of science for that storytelling. So I like the persistent appearance of science in the Marvel universe. So with regard to the multiverse, we've been, by the way, Marvel is about 18 months or more behind the moving frontier of science. So somebody's reading the science journals and infusing the stories. We've had ideas of the multiverse for a while. For someone in the script to say, "You mean it's real? I thought it was just theoretical." No, that's not how we talk in science. We don't have evidence for it, but it is deeply connected to ideas that are successful multiverse for us in the Marvel universe. So with regard to the multiverse, we've been, by the way, Marvel is about 18 months or more behind the moving frontier of science. So somebody's reading the science journals and infusing the stories. We've had ideas of the multiverse for a while. For someone in the script to say, "You mean it's real? I thought it was just theoretical." No, that's not how we talk in science. We don't have evidence for it, but it is deeply connected to ideas that are successful in our current universe, right? When we merge quantum physics and general relativity and go to the early universe, multiverses just pop out of that for free. Okay, we didn't have to separately invent that. And so once you have that, they're available to us theoretically, and they could exist. We don't know how to get from one to the other. That's where you throw in the science fiction frontier. But until then, let them have it. Let them run with it. I don't have a problem.
Far out. I want to turn to one more item.
Very far out.
It is.
By the way,
that we're learning about. And I got to tell you, Neil, I don't know what people say to you when they come to you on the street, but people talk to me about the world, politics, their views of the press. Press isn't perfect. Press bias. One of the biggest biases of the press is the coverage of Earth at the exclusion of the rest of the entire galaxy. I mean, we're in this big space, and we're talking about Earth a lot. And so with that in mind, we have you here. News on black holes. Apparently, you'll explain, but there's an image here of a massive black hole, which is in the Milky Way galaxy, the ring of light that surrounds what the Times calls, quote, a trapdoor in time and space. And they say, audio of what a black hole sounds like. Scientists producing sounds of, this is from a different black hole that's in a galaxy 55 million light years away. Hit it. Neil, explain.
Well, clearly there's a monster there. That's what those sounds like. So I'm not as much a fan as other people are of assigning musical notes to cosmic phenomena. I don't have anything against it. I'm just not a big fan of it, only because anytime you have a pressure wave, that's a wave that's pressing back and forth as it moves through a medium, it is technically sound. Whether or not that frequency lands within the low to high range of the human sensory system, those sounds exist at 48 octaves lower than anything audible to the human ear. So in order to turn it into sound that we would care about, you have to basically shift it artificially so that it lands in our acoustic range, and then to then say it's sound is a little bit misleading.
Last question, does it matter that today science is at a place where it can observe more directly about black holes this far away than in history?
Yeah, what we're seeing is a brand new portal of access to what's going on in the universe. And anytime we have new capacities such as that, new discoveries just flow like rivers through that portal. So I'm just delighted that we can image. So what we're seeing is really the shadow of the black hole and light distorted around it. But that's great. Let's keep going. And by the way, we always knew our galaxy had a black hole. We had other indirect means, but now we have a direct measurement. So we're all there. So now I'll be ready for the next Marvel story to go through that black hole and come out the other side.